Hello, everyone. This is Tech Architect. Today is I'm making my very first vlog on the YouTube channel. So today's topic is going to share some information about top IT trends for 2020. The reason I want to start this topic is because if you are a job seeker or even you are currently have a position as a developer, you still wonder what is going to happen in the 2020. So what's going on in the industry? I have a lot of experience in the industry and in the IT technology, so I like to share my point of view. Let's get started. Okay, so a little bit about myself. I'm a tech architect and I have many years experience in the automotive, banking, financial services, and telecommunication. I love technologies, programming different languages, machine learning, AI, and web development, also cloud computing, etc. I also personally like digital photography and ballroom dance. Um, First of all, I like to talk about the web development. This is very, I think it's a very popular topic in YouTube and everywhere. So I think I want to emphasize three things. First is responsive web design. So whenever you make a web, if your browser, for example, you look at in the Chrome browser, if you shrink your browser or expand your browser, so your web should design the way it's responsive to the viewpoints. For example, if you have a mobile device, right, so you will get the hamburger menu, whatever, from your nav bar, right? So that's a very typical. Also, is the flow of your content should be fluent on the web design. That's called a responsive web design. So that's definitely is a no-brainer. Is a first you need to design that way, right? So secondly is the SPA, is a single page application. That is also the trending in the for the 2020. The leading framework library is React from Facebook. The about count the market share about 78%. The Angular from Google because of incompatibility of later version with the Angular one, Angular JS. So many company they stop using it. So but it's count 20% of the 20-21% of market share right now. The Vue is a newcomer, about like 1% of market share. So if you are developing front-end web application, definitely React is no-brainer. You need to learn. And also PWA, the progressive web application. So this is also very significant in the demand of, because if you're, for example, if you're your device don't have internet connection, for example, then the service worker also can cache lots of content. For example, if you looking at a news portal, right? So there is many content you can still view offline in your mobile device or whatever. So you don't feel like you don't have internet connection. That's called a progressive web application, PWA. So if you know what is the responsive web design and SPA and the PWA, so you're definitely you're on the market, so you're on the trend. You understand what the trending will be, right? So that's about web development. Next thing I want to talk about is machine learning and artificial intelligence. That's really the hot topic. So for this topic, you need to understand what is Python is, the programming language, very easy to learn. But basically, you need to understand what's PySpark and also Jupyter Notebooks. You need to work with this to do some analytics on the machine learning, apply the algorithm to the predictive model. So that's a lot of topic on that area. So you can Google on that. Definitely, machine learning and artificial intelligence is a hot topic in the 2020. Many companies adopt it. So for the framework part, so Google has a TensorFlow. It's a low-level API, but you still can it's very popular and it's been long time there. TensorFlow. So many company leverage TensorFlow on even individual developers. They like to start learning what is TensorFlow about, right? And also there is a Scikit-learn. So this is also coming out of the one of the Google's project, but it's easier to learn. It's a more higher level API. So if you are new to the area of machine learning, I definitely recommend you to start with Scikit-learn. Also, Facebook has a framework called PyTorch. So also it's very new compared to the TensorFlow. I think it's easier as well. So this is the framework you can learn, and I think definitely if you are learning machine learning, so it's easy to find a job, or you can get a better pay if you have a job already. Also, I want to mention is the top 3 programming language for the 2020. I think Java is still the dominant mainstream for the enterprise computing. And also on top of that, you need to understand what is Spring Boot and the Spring Framework. These are the enterprise computing requirement. If it's no-brainer, basically, you have to understand what is Spring if you work on the Java and the Java. Especially Java 8 has a lot of feature like functional programming, and also it's a streaming API. So you have also to understand that functional programming perspective other than the Spring Boot part. And the Python, I think is a number 2 language, but because of it can used for server-side scripting language for all the admin DevOps the people, right? And also because of machine learning and AI, it make it number 2nd. Also the one of the JavaScript language I would say is you cannot ignore is JavaScript, right? So today's JavaScript totally new compared to the many years JavaScript. It's because of Node using the Chrome V8 engine, so make it very fast and also asynchronous nature. So it's a little bit learning curve compared to the traditional programming. So it's asynchronous nature and non-blocking. And the front end, right, using the JavaScript language, definitely, as I mentioned earlier, is a React, Angular, and Vue. So they all using JavaScript. The server side is definitely is Node.js. Is also the very dominant for the JavaScript. If you want to make the full stack developer, you know the one language, you can work on front end and back end. The next thing I want to talk about is mobile development. For mobile development, been long time is the company have to develop one code base for iOS, Apple, and another code base for Android. I think currently most of company looking for one code base solution for all the both platform. So the cross platform. So React Native definitely is a winner on that space. So it can compare to the native code. The button is really native. Even the iOS, for example, upgrade to new version, so your component also become very native. At that time, you look at just no difference when the upgrade, right? So, but the downside is the performance because React Native using the JavaScript bridge to talk to the native, so that's why it's a little bit delayed. The performance side is not as good as the next contender is Google Flutter. Using the Dart programming language, Flutter is a framework and the API also is SDK. So the centerpiece is the Dart programming language. You need to learn if you are Java and JavaScript developer background. So there's no very easy to pick it up as a Dart as a programming language, because of Flutter using its own proprietary component to rendering during for the native platform. So there is no bridge. There is so you get a much faster performance compared to the React Native. So they all both have pros and cons, but I would recommend if you want to going into the mobile development, definitely you need to learn both. But I think Google Flutter probably will be the more demand in the coming 2020. On the cloud computing side, most enterprise, bigger enterprise, using they're afraid of their data security, so they leverage the private cloud. So for that, the private cloud is a PCF, Pivotal Cloud Foundry, and also Red Hat OpenShift using the Kubernetes. These both are the dominant platform on the private cloud. But I think the trending is the Kubernetes will be getting more and more increased in the private cloud side. PCF is keep the steady. Yeah, it's not growing as fast as Kubernetes on the OpenShift. On the public cloud side, AWS and definitely is a dominant market leader. But Azure, right, is picking up very quickly. So I think if you want to understand the public cloud and also probably the next future of the enterprise computing, definitely you need to learn AWS and Azure. And the Google Cloud platform, I think is not as growing that fast, right? Google is more tailored there, not like enterprise computing. Really, sometimes it's more individual experience. Another thing I want to mention is the CI/CD pipeline is a continuous integration and a continuous delivery. This automation make DevOps the different culture, right? DevOps culture, we call it DevOps culture, and also make it self-service. Lots of things is being very easy to from end to end. So there is no developer silos. So this definitely you need to understand what is Jenkins. Jenkins pipeline is how it works. So the CI/CD pipeline definitely is a must to learn. And the last point I want to say is the future of 2020. One thing is everything as a code is mainly focused on the infrastructure as a code, so such as Terraform, and so how you scripting your basically you make a management of infrastructure and using the descriptive model. Using the same versioning as the DevOps team used for the source code, so definitely is a new thing to learn. I think is a in the 2020. If you're working on that space, you need to understand what is everything as a code, or what is infrastructure as a code. Everything as a service also is a trending. Now, initially it started from cloud computing terminology, but now basically whatever, if your database can be a service, transportation can be a service, anything can be a service, develop desktop as a service, disaster recovery as a service. So basically you think about anything related to cloud can be something as a service. So you need to understand the concept and keep learning on the cloud side of what a service is offering from different cloud providers such as AWS and Azure, right? So that's it. Yeah, if you like to leave some comment, you can definitely write it down below. And also, I recommend you to subscribe my channel. This is very beginning one, but I will have more content on the technology and learning. For example, I'm probably publish some React programming tutorial on the X-State machine learning stuff. And yeah, my email is tech.architect.guru@gmail.com. Yeah, I definitely welcome to send me some information if you like to. And thank you for watching, and stay tuned for coming up video and vlog. Thank you. Bye bye.